Hi everyone, welcome back to Avery's Apron. My name is Avery and I've got this super simple breakfast meal prep that I want to share with you guys today. We are making ham and Havarti quiches, okay? We're going to hop right into the recipe. So I'm starting off by shredding my cheese. Like I said earlier, this is Havarti cheese. I'm using this cheese because it was in my freezer and I was trying to kind of do a freezer clean out, so I used what I had. Okay, you can feel free to interchange any of the ingredients that I used today. I'm using Havarti, but you can use Gouda, Swiss, cheddar, whatever you like. Okay, I'm also gonna go ahead and chop up my ham. I just got a few slices of Deli Ham. This is the boar's head, I think Tavern ham is what I have. But yeah, I'm just gonna chop this up into nice size little pieces, and we're gonna set that aside and get going with our egg mixture. Again, you don't have to use ham. You can use bacon, you can use sausage, you can omit the meat. You can use just spinach and tomatoes and onions, feta, whatever you like. Okay, just really make this your own. So we're gonna go ahead and make our custard mixture. This is gonna come together really quickly, you guys, okay? So I've got half a cup of heavy cream and I'm gonna crack 6 eggs into this, and we're gonna beat it together and season it and then add in our cheese and ham as well. This recipe was actually inspired. I don't know if anybody has tried the quiches from Panera. They have like the spinach and cheese, I think, and then the bacon and cheese. The bacon and cheese one was my favorite. So good, but it's kind of expensive for something that I can make myself at home. So that's what inspired me to whip this up on this particular day. And like I said, you guys, the options with this are truly endless. Just think about what you like in your favorite omelet, and honestly, you can do that. Throw all of those things into this. I definitely want to give this a try again with bacon and cheese. I was also thinking maybe like a spinach, adding a little spinach in there. I think Gruyere cheese would be really good in this. I like the bacon and Gruyere egg bites from Starbucks, so I'm thinking about trying something like that here in the near future, but this is what I started with because this is what I had on hand. So as you already saw, I mixed in some of my cheese already, and I'm mixing in most of my ham as well at this point. You want to leave just maybe like a quarter of your cheese and a quarter of your ham for the topping, okay? So I'm mixing most of this in, but we're going to reserve some for right before we bake, okay? So I'm just giving this one final good mix, and we're going to go ahead and get our puff pastry prepped. So here is my puff pastry. I'm going to cut it in half right down the middle, and I have these little quiche ramekins, and I'm just going to fit this puff pastry to the dish. Okay, so as you can see, I'm pressing it out with my hands a little bit. Didn't feel like getting out the rolling pin or anything like that because just didn't have time for that this day. Okay, this was actually before work one day. I was like, oh, let me whip these up. I've got all the ingredients ready. Let's just give it a try. And like I mentioned, this recipe is inspired by the Panera quiches, which is why I'm using puff pastry today. They use puff pastry for theirs, but you can feel free to use pie crust. I've also seen people use hash browns, which I definitely want to try. You can use like frozen tater tots or shredded potato, but I'm definitely going to give that one a shot, and I'll report back on how that goes, okay? But once I fitted my puff pastry to the pan, I went ahead and poked some holes in the bottom just to make sure that it bakes well, like it bakes all the way through at the bottom. I didn't want my puff pastry to be undercooked underneath that egg. But yes, I poked the holes, I cut off the excess dough, and I poked holes in the sides as well. I'm going to fold it over on itself, and we're going to top it with a little more cheese and ham. And these are going to go in a 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes, okay? Just until your egg is set in the middle and your puff pastry is nice and golden brown. And one more thing I almost forgot, I did brush my puff pastry around the edges with some heavy cream just to help them get nice and golden brown, like so. Delicious. Look at how puffy and wonderful these look. They are going to deflate as they cool, but like I said, these are like the perfect breakfast meal prep. You can store these in your fridge and just reheat them throughout the week, like throw them in the air fryer for a couple minutes, and you are golden, okay? As you can see, one is missing because my husband took one on his way out for work, and I'm packaging one for myself and my siblings as well. I'm gonna drop them off before I head into work, but please give this recipe a try. Let me know in the comments if you do, and thank you for watching. Bye!